Alright, traders, let's have a market update. In this video, I'm going to share with you the Russell, Nasdaq, Dow, and the S&P. And I'm going to share with you the line chart because sometimes the line chart gives you a different view and different opinion about what the market is doing. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so let's actually get straight into it right now. Let's actually talk about what the market is doing. It's really interesting. No one really knows what's going to happen moving forward. Are we going to move up higher? Are we going to keep moving up higher? Is the Dow going to break past 18,500 and keep running? That's the question, right? No one really knows. No one really knows. But right now, as we speak, if you're looking at the obviously the Dow Jones and the S&P, this is what I see right now. Let me bring up my arrow. You can see here on the Dow Jones, we had this once and twice where the market last year, middle of last year, had a lot of problems. This is around July last year, and it's really interesting. Around July last year, we made that point there, and we broke down, and we ran back up, and we made this July this time as well too. So, looking at the market and looking at what's actually happening here, it looks like that is now at a point of where the market has had a rejection before. Do we blast straight through that, or do we hold it and do we pull back a little bit? That's the question that is obviously, I guess, is on a lot of investors' mind. And the thing is that I think there's something like, I don't know, maybe $30 billion worth of buybacks happening right now. That's just crazy. Anyway, so you can see the Dow Jones at resistance, but what's happening with the S&P? Resistance, and it's had resistance. And now we've broken through. All right, so that's basically what we see there. Now, guys, the way that support and resistance works is that if we break through, this now should become support. But if the market does this, where the market rallies up and it comes straight down like that, just comes straight down and closes there on this chart, that is a weak sign and we're likely to see reverse. Now, if the market doesn't do that and the market rallies up a little bit more, and then comes down like that, creating this, see this white space in here? I've tested this time and time again. This white space, if that happens, this has such a high probability of support and we're likely to race higher and continue higher. So that's the thing I'm looking out for. We're at the resistance now on the Dow Jones, and the S&P has broken through to new highs. So really interesting. We're at this resistance. Do we get a pause and a rejection from here? That's yet to be seen. Let's go over to the Nasdaq and the Russell. What's happening on those markets? Let's actually see here. So we can see that the Nasdaq, where it is right now on the line chart, we've actually had a lot of support and resistance. We actually had a bit of a double top here, and then we broke down. And then the market ran up. And now we're at that point right now. So are we likely to fail here? And are we likely to see a bit more downside to come? So that is obviously the question. Noticing that the Dow Jones and the Russell are both at those respective areas of resistance. Now the Nasdaq, you notice how we've had a lot of this time through here, and now we're going through this time through here. Now the interesting thing about the Nasdaq is that you can see that we're continuing to make these lower highs and lower highs. So it's really interesting to see what's happening. I think this government, we've never seen anything like this before. And the charts actually tell you that. The volatility is here to stay. Really is. It's starting to break out. Do we go up? Do we go down? And yeah, so we will see what happens there. So now we're at this area of resistance as well too, with the overall Nasdaq as well too. So looking at these markets, guys, you can see where we're at right now, and that's the hard question. Now we did get. Let me actually go take you over to this one here. we did get a nice reversal volume continue to the high side. So you can see here now, if I bring up this chart here, this is the ultimate high up here. It's right at that high point where it was last year. Right at that high point now. Do we fail here because we've been running up? That's a hard question to obviously to buy. Now we did get, if you look at the volume, we did get a spike in volume, but it wasn't a towering volume, and we haven't got the towering volume yet, but the market is rallying up and it's at that resistance level. Does it hold or does it not? Looking onto the S&P, again, we've got a really good volume. You can see the volume bar there, a nice increase in volume on the way up. Shows that this market may want to continue more upside, and it's definitely interesting to see how this is. I'm definitely really interested to see how this is going to play out the way everything's going right now. Same with the Russell. With the Russell's at that area of resistance, not much going there. And we're looking at the obviously looking at the Nasdaq as well too, pushing up. Nasdaq really hasn't been going up a lot. It's just been gapping. Yesterday was a gap. Today was a gap. Just gapping up and gapping up. Lots of volume behind there, I guess, because of the buybacks as well too. So we are actually getting into an area of earnings. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the earnings announcement as well too. And if that's pretty bad, especially with the banks, then I think someone said on my YouTube videos that could be Brexit 2.0. We will see. So but right now the buybacks are pushing this market up higher, and same with the QQQ. The QQQ once again is right at that area. And if I bring up the line chart here on the QQQ, you'll be able to see it as well too. This is the line chart on the QQQ. And you know what, you can see it down here much nicer. When it's all squeezed up, you get a much clearer view of it, can't you? This bottom chart down the bottom here, okay, you can actually see that this QQQ is right at that area where the market's had a lot of issues in the past, and you've seen this point through here. Let me go back to that line there. So this whole line through here has been an area where the market's had a lot of issues in the past, but we are starting to break up. So this is definitely something interesting. It's something that I wasn't expecting to see, because the markets were showing something different, and now the market's rallying up higher. So it's definitely like, it's definitely going to be testing your patience as the market's moving. Now moving on, I want to share with you the VIX, and this is something, guys, I've been really excited about to talk about. As you can see, the VIX hardly ever goes down. And with the VIX, guys, you're looking at the $12 mark. Is probably around where it doesn't really go pretty much any lower than that. And right now, again, we're bouncing off this. So even though the market's pushing up higher and pushing up higher and pushing up higher, this is still holding. This is still holding that $13 level. And even if we have a little bit more downside to the $12 level, if we did, that would be perfect, personally. But I am good either way with that. So there we go, guys. Bit of a market update. This is a really hard situation. A lot of the market's at resistance. Do we pause in and have a pullback? And if so, how hard is that pullback going to be? There's a lot of questions to ask watch this market's going. So we are pushing higher. The market is turning more bullish on the short term, obviously, than bearishness, breaking up to new highs. The Dow Jones is at that resistance level though. If that breaks up and closes above that and continues to run, then maybe we will see a 20,000 Dow. I don't think so, but that's just my opinion anyway. So anyway, guys, remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.